I'm going to say something that might ruffle some feathers in the yoga and the wellness industry. I think we've been marketing it all wrong. I think we've been saying the wrong thing to you, painting the wrong picture of what yoga practice is actually about, because it was never about making you feel more calm or more fit or less stressed out. Calm was never the fucking point. The point of yoga is liberation. It is about being connected with something bigger than you. It is about expressing your own human magnificence. The point of yoga was never just about surface level things. It was always about really deep and meaningful things. And I can tell you that inside of the yoga industry, yoga teachers have been part of this marketing scheme, because the reality is telling somebody that they can feel more liberated just doesn't sell as well as telling somebody that they can be more flexible or calm or less stressed, right? And so I want to name that, like, if you're in the yoga industry and you've been telling people that you can help them to feel more calm, or you've consumed practices with other women who are telling you that, or even mine, that it's not our fault. Like, we're actually trying to figure out an access point in order for women, practitioners, students, ourselves to see the value in a yoga practice. For me, I got into yoga practice because I was suffering greatly and I was simply curious. I thought, why not give it a try? Because things suck so bad. And I know many of you didn't get into yoga for that reason. You got into it because you thought it might help you with low back pain. You got into it because you thought that it might help you to feel less pain in general, or to have better mental health, or to feel more calm and at ease as you move through your days. Like, however you got into yoga, wherever way, whatever brought you towards it, it's great. I'm glad you're here. But now that you're here, I want to be really clear that this was never about making you calm or making you feel good. That's a byproduct. When you practice yoga regularly, it will impact your stress reactivity. You'll become more resilient. Your nervous system will settle down. You will feel more calm and at peace. You will feel more physically fit and pain free, or have less pain than you do. All those things are true. But that is not what yoga is actually about. And in its essence, yoga is that place to work on freedom. It is a science, it is a technology, it is a philosophy for you to work on your own liberation and to wake up. It is a practice that it is designed to work on all four pillars of you: your physical body, including all the muscles and the bones and the fascia and the organs, and your digestion and your lymphatic system and your nervous system, like all of those things in your physical body. Yes, 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 yes. Cerebrospinal fluid moving through your body. Yes, yes, yes. It is also designed to work on your subtle body. So this is the energy body. The prana is the vital life energy that moves through you. We are working on moving the prana through all of the different nadis, the energy pathways, the chakra. We are working on moving the energy through your body. Yes. We are also working on your mind. We are working on your mind as your emotional processing, your self-awareness. We have a whole word for the study of the self, swadhyaya. It's this study, this relationship of knowing oneself deeply, of studying the mind. That's Jnana Yoga. It's understanding, what are my thoughts? What are my beliefs? How am I seeing the world? What's my drishti? That's my perspective with which I see the world. Yes, 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 yes. We're working on all these layers. It is also about your spirit, your soul, your connection to God, the divine. However you want to frame it is your business. How you see that thing that's bigger than you, that's your business. But yoga is unapologetically and constantly reminding you that you are a soul having a human experience, and it's constantly wanting to bring you back to that point and back to that place of awareness and highest self-connection, and that feeling of being linked to your own soul, your own inner witness, but also something infinite and divine and bigger than you. If you've ever heard of the Bhagavad Gita, you know The entire point of the practice is not just about getting the mind to slow down, it's getting in touch with the soul. And yoga practice is also about your life. Tantra yoga, karma yoga, bhakti yoga, like all of these systems, all of these different systems of yoga are all about the way that you approach your life. Can you let each day be a devotional practice? Can you let everything that you do be a conversation with God? There's a quote by Thich Nhat Hanh where he talks about walk as if your feet are kissing the earth. Karma yoga teaches us to learn from our experiences. It teaches us to view life as one big learning opportunity. There's so many ways that our yoga practice is actually this multi-dimensional tool set, philosophy, approach, way of living. It is not a stress management tool. And I say that not, again, to throw shade or shame on anybody that's using it as a stress management tool, because if it's helping you, then that's fantastic. I say all of this to show you the depth, the real, the gold, the pure gold that is available here. It's not just the surface level shit. It is real, meaningful depth. It is transformation. It is liberation. It is wholeness. It is a way to feel held in a world that feels chaotic and busy, and as women, pulls us in 1,000 different directions at any given time, especially for my mamas in the room. Calm was never the point. Your liberation was absolutely the point. When yoga gets flattened into self-care, when it gets flattened into back pain relief or flattened into stress management or flattened into something to help women feel calm, you're missing out on all of this goodness that is available in here. And this goodness, I think, is plugging in some really big gaps in most women's experience. We are missing the integration of the self that brings all of these parts together. We can go to therapy and talk with our therapist about our inner world and our experience, but our body is often left out of that conversation. We can go to a yoga class that's not weaving in these different layers, this holistic like depth of yoga, and we can just spend an hour breathing and tuning into our body and feeling the connection with your body that a yoga practice uniquely gives you, where you notice little subtle things like your big toe or the feeling of the muscles of your back or the way that your breath moves through your body. It's magic, but it's oftentimes missing that mental and emotional component or that ability to get into the soul. We can go to all these fragmented places, but interestingly, yoga is offering us all of it in one package if we are actually approaching yoga with depth and meaning and honoring the true intention of the yoga practice, which is to weave all of these worlds together. That's what's available to you here. And these gaps that I'm talking about, or this lack of depth, is not a personal failure. I started this video off telling you that we as yoga professionals, me even in the past, we have taught you to think of yoga in these ways in order to sell it to you, in order to get you in the door to do practices with us. But the reality is that there's just more available. And if you're a woman who is wanting to feel nourished and experience more pleasure and to feel more free, and you're not looking for surface level hacks, if I see another nervous system reset, I might barf, y'all. I'm so sick of all these shallow, quick hit things that we're seeing in this modern world of Instagram and TikTok. The real depth is getting in there consistently with yourself and accessing all these different layers of you and bringing it all together. Like, this is actually where the pleasure, where the play, where the liberation, where the freedom is. It's here. It's not in another cold plunge, and it's not in another 5-minute breathing practice that just calms you down and doesn't actually bring you home to yourself. And so I want to talk to you a little bit about what it actually looks like to practice yoga in a way that weaves in this real depth and that brings you into the whole yummy possibility of what's there. So a yoga practice that looks like this or is like this can still be a movement-based practice, but it's going to be a movement-based practice that allows for pauses. It encourages you to be aware of your body, but also your inner world, your emotions, your thoughts. It's a yoga practice that will help you to be in touch with your soul. It's a yoga practice that will ask you to look at your drishti, your perspective with which you are living in your life. It's a yoga practice that will challenge you, not just physically, but also challenge you to be still, challenge you to slow down, challenge you to tune in, challenge you to rest, challenge you to do hard things, challenge you to go into parts of yourself that you're not as skillful at tuning into. A yoga practice that isn't just about surface level things all the time, because there is a lot of yoga out there nowadays that is air quote yoga. It's fitness masquerading as yoga practice. It's goat yoga. It's alcohol mixed with yoga. Like, these are not it. They're not it. And if you are a woman who is looking for actual depth, who is interested in real freedom, liberation, pleasure, feeling wildly whole, letting in love and good things, then there's more out here for you, love. And if that speaks to you, if you're feeling like, I get it, and I would like more of that, I made a free practice for you. It's called Come Home to Your Body, and it gives you like a 10-minute taste of this. But I'll be honest, the real work, the real like substance that I have is not just one 10-minute practice, because part of it is consistency and a devotion to doing this work on an ongoing basis from a desire-led perspective. And so if you're there, then the Nourished Woman Sanctuary is where I do that work with you on a weekly basis on your schedule. It's 15 to 30-minute on-demand videos. I'm a busy mom of 3. I don't expect you to spend an hour doing a practice with me several times a week, but I'll tell you that those practices inside the Nourished Women Sanctuary, they weave all of these aspects together. You're going to get all of that in every single one, along with nervous system medicine, all bundled up. And you can find out a little bit more about my online studio, the Nourished Women Sanctuary, below. If this spoke to you, write me a comment and let me know. I say that because I'm a generator in human design, and I like to use YouTube as a way to have real conversations with real women, just like you. It really lights me up to hear from you. All right, see you in another video.